I have been tired, I've been infuriated of the coverage this week about Queen Elizabeth death. First of all, condolences to the family. The human in me hates or feels for any family who loses a loved one. But that said, the saturation of the media over the death of a monarch is, I think, embarrassing. Worse is the fact that as we discuss the monarchy, that in a civilized world now, a world that is trying to relieve itself of the savagery of colonialism and what it has done to people, to the theft that occurred, it was great today to see Ali Velshi not only schooled a historian, but attempt to give him some perspective whether he liked it or not. This is beautiful. This is what real journalism looks like.
Queen Elizabeth was an even-tempered monarch who was never quick to react or show her emotions or reveal much about her private life. In that way, she endeared herself to the public, and her popularity is unmatched by any other member of the royal family. Though, for that same reason, her popularity and the institution she represented took a major hit after the death of Diana, who was pretty much the opposite of the stoic, reserved queen. And as beloved as Elizabeth was, she also represented an institution that had a long and ugly history of brutal colonialism, violence, theft, and slavery. For many centuries, the British robbed other nations of their wealth and power and exploited their people. Even as Queen Elizabeth's reign largely marked the beginning of the post-colonial era, the horrors that her long line of ancestors inflicted upon many generations of people across the globe continues to be the source of pain. That's now a legacy that her eldest son, King Charles III, inherits as the new head of state and the head of the British Commonwealth, or what is now known as the Commonwealth of Nations. He's got a massive task ahead of him as the country and his family face an uncertain future without the matriarch who's been their guiding star for so long. Joining our conversation now is Dr. Andrew Roberts. He's an MSNBC British historian, the author of many books about the royal family. We just had an historian say that there are many people who are queenists. They're not monarchists. They liked her. They're either bored with the institution or think that it needs to change, or aren't going to be that into the next king. Give us your evaluation of that.
I think that's wildly overstated, frankly. I think when you look at all the opinion polls, we're about 80 to 85% in favour of having a constitutional monarchy. I'm afraid to say, as your introduction was, if we had given so much pain to people throughout history, why was Charles chosen by every single Commonwealth country, many of which are former imperial countries, as the head of the Commonwealth? We abolished slavery.
Hold on a second. Andrew, are you really denying what I just said about British colonialism? Are you really doing that, Andrew? Are you really doing that?
We abolished slavery.
Andrew, this is not a propaganda show. Andrew, I need you to stop. I need you to stop for a second. I need you to stop for a second. Are you really taking issue with the horrors of colonialism, Andrew?
I'm certainly taking issue with your remarks about slavery, which we abolished 32 years before you did, and we didn't have to kill 600,000 people in a civil war over it.
So you think that that's fine, that there are people all over the world who were born in colonial countries, because when I was born, the British Empire still existed. That's okay for everybody.
Which country were you born in?
Kenya.
Right. And that the Kenyans not only supported the appointment of Prince Charles, now King Charles, as the head of the Commonwealth. We've just had a fantastic statement from the president of Kenya saying what a wonderful thing. And
the president of the United States is going to attend her funeral. The fact is,
so why on earth do you want to concentrate on the negative things of an institution which is 100 years ago now?
I can read you my opening again. I didn't concentrate on it. I said that there are many people in the world, many millions of people in the world, I don't know if you have social media, but you should check it out, who don't think we should be celebrating the British monarchy right now. Many in Britain, by the way, many in Britain.
No, not many in Britain.
There's a lot more people than that around the world who don't see it the same way, who grew up under the yoke of colonialism in the British Empire.
The way in which the leaders of the entire world are writing to even evil monsters like Putin, are writing to King Charles and saying what a great thing his mother's reign was, which started, as you actually had in your opening intro, you had her talk about the great imperial family to which we all belong. You know, The idea that that is in some way an attack on our past is absurd in my view.
Well, it's nice to be able to whitewash that sort of thing, Andrew, and I'm glad that you closed off with the idea that even Vladimir Putin had nice things to say about the Queen.
I love it. Even Vladimir Putin had nice things to say about the Queen. He was proud of it. You know, hey, the worst guy in the world. Even he could say something nice about the Queen. Here's the reality, folks. Why did a lot of these countries remain in the Commonwealth? It's simple. It's not hard to realize. Sometimes you have to grab on to that thing which you really, really hate. So it's money, and we all should know that quite well. You know what? I was happy to see that Ali Velshi made one very important statement. This is not a propaganda show. We are not going to be like the other shows who just whitewash what the British Empire represented. Yes, we will mourn that. We'll be sorry. We'll be hurt for the family of the Queen after losing somebody who gave the vision of being nice, but never once did she come out and say the British Empire was wrong. What we did in India was wrong. What we did in slavery was wrong. All these things were absolutely wrong. And she didn't say that because in acknowledging that, the next question is, are you ready for reparations to solve the problems that you created? Are you ready to give back that which was stolen? The reality is, no, they're not. No, they never will be. They will rather change history. They would rather placate history than do the right thing. And for all of those who are having all these false interpretations, these false beliefs of what British Empire really means, Ali Velshi schools many on this. Thank you, because you have the platform. It's important for us not to allow false historians to go out there and over time overtake what the violence, the savagery that colonialism really was, and to some extent still is. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.